My life before Christ was one of consumption. It was one of making sure that I could have a path towards obtaining the most things, build towards ownership, build towards income. And if there's nothing to do on a given day, if the home's tidy, then escape. Take the escapism pills. Take as many video games and TV shows as you can. At times you might get lucky and I'll come across something that gives me an interesting view of the world, but over time it became the same stories told different ways with no growth. There's nothing to know beyond what I'd known. And I saw this sort of stagnant future ahead of me. The pursuit for truth for me is typically in research. If I can't find an answer to something interesting, just look that up. But there did come a point where I would be confronted with faith, or the faith of others, lots of times. And they would have a devotion or a knowing that I couldn't understand. And every time that came by, I'd brush that off and say, that's not the truth, though. It couldn't be. But it had an interesting effect when it came across multiple individuals who approached me from different aspects of my life to say, hey, by the way, Christ. And I would say, yeah, I've heard of that before. But every time it would be a little bit more like, hey, by the way, Christ. And finally, I came across the right person. My coworker, Chris Dayton, says, hey, look, I mean, Bible study's cool. You should come. And he was right, and I showed up, and it was normal human beings who believed in a person. I didn't believe yet, but I thought, these guys, they're talking about confrontational subjects that people can have opinions about, and nobody's getting all crazy about it, so I'm going to stick around. Or one would say that God had his intentions in me, for me to come across Chris, and Chris to come across my path, and him to invite me to this event that made me I initially resisted going, but then the Bible study group became a thing that I fixated on looking forward to. That I could broaden my understanding of this faith I wasn't a part of yet, and to see if it had something that I needed. I didn't know that I needed yet, right? It was just something to inspect. Hey, look, we're all sinners. After death, if you have not yet accepted Christ into your heart, you may join hell. And if you did, in fact, let Christ into your heart, you get to go to heaven. And without any sort of conflicting higher power of knowledge to disprove that idea, I thought, I'll just take that leap of faith. Knowing Christ is like having a friend around all the time. As childish and foolish as it can seem at the start, as a non-believer, of course, it can feel foolish. It felt foolish at the first few times I prayed. But the power of belief, repeated, just happens to become true. And I don't lose anything as a result of that. Like, I'm still gonna go to work and pay my taxes and all other stuff, but I won't do it alone. So my name's John Milton. I believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for us. He was reborn, resurrected, and today I'm getting baptized for that.